Right. The second final getting underway as the Minimax drivers are sent on their way around this circuit. So let's have a look at the starting grid for the Rotax Max Euro Golden Trophy final for Minimax here at Karting Genk. On the front row, it's Latvia's Tom Strela from pole position ahead of Mies Huben from the Netherlands on the 108. Nikita Nikishov from Spain on the 120 ahead of Ryan Burkino on the 145 chassis. Mick van den Berg on the 129. We'll have Mats van Rooyen alongside, so it's an all-Dutch row number 3. We've already had someone go off the circuit. Looks to be the 159, and that is Marcus Silkunas, who is due to line up alongside Lawrence Herboz on row number 5. Matthias Jellerup from Denmark and Jake Menton, row 6. Tom Langlois and Gilles Avril, row 7. Igor Kaczynski and Romain Roussel, row number 8. Row 9, it's Paul Grisel and Aloysius Sekavicius with Jakub Kubera from the Czech Republic in 19th position.
Immediately as it is blocking traffic. So please make sure if it's 1XRS-579 for Tesla, and please remove your vehicle from its current location and move it immediately as it is blocking entrances for access. Thank you.
I know that the Stout family are watching and they're going to be cheering on Mies Huben. So, Carol, Koen and Katrien, thank you for tuning in. And good to see a lot of people actually watching along at the moment. We still have 5 more Golden Trophy champions to crown. And there are nearly 700 people watching on the YouTube stream. That is absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much to everyone that has stayed with us over the course of the last couple of days. Right then, 11 minutes on the clock, red lights on the starting gantry. The Rotax Max Euro Golden Trophy Mini-Max final is off and away. We are lights out, and it's the run down to turn 2. And Nikishov gets ahead of Mies Huben as they head through into turn 2 and 3 for the first time. The 103 of Mats van Rooyen using the runoff area very, very nicely indeed, and manages to make up a couple of positions in the meantime. But the battle for the lead is well and truly on. Nikishov gets passed by Mies Huben going through, and there is one driver in there. That is Marcus Silkunas, I believe, the Lithuanian in the pit lane. So the mechanic trying to assist to try and sort out the problem. The drivers making their way through into turn 8 and now into turn 9. So it's line astern between Tom Strela and Mies Huben from Latvia and the Netherlands. And Nikita Nikishov is following in close proximity, so it's a 3-way scrap for the lead. We're about to come across the start line to complete the very first lap of racing in the Mini-Max final. And now Mies Huben goes for the lead up the inside. Mies Huben hits the front of the field. And now the charge begins to become a Golden Trophy champion this weekend at Karting Genk. Ryan Burkino battling away with Romain Roussel. There's been a little bit of a tangle. Roussel and the 129 comes together. That's Mick van den Berg from the Netherlands. As we're on 9 minutes to go, plus an additional lap, as there's an absolute skirmish happening through turn number 12. So the drivers making their way through into turns 3, 4 and 5 in the 110 of Matthias Jellerup battling away. That was the 129 of Mick Vandenberg. That is a bit outside of the top 10. For the top 3 on their way down through into turn number 7. Mies Huben leading the way. Tom Strehler ahead of Nikita Nikishov. That's the top 3. So Netherlands, Latvia and Spain are leading. So through they go into turn 11, now into 12. And we've got 3 minutes completed, 8 to go. Langlois has moved up to 11th, ahead of, behind Gasparovic. But Huben's lead over Tom Strehler now extends to 0.3 of a second. Matej Radenkovic, who started down in 8th position, now up into P7, sets the fastest lap of the race. 59.988 seconds from the young Belgian from Bouvin Power. But Huben and Strehler have started pulling away from Nikishov and Van Rooyen, and how Balls are trying to chase down the Spaniard in 3rd place. Bourguignon in 6th. Radenkovic ahead of Roussel, Gilles Avril and Tom Langlois, making a trio of French drivers that round out the top 10. So 7 minutes and 14 still to go, plus 1 lap. Other changes, Paul Roussel past Mick Vandenberg for 12th position. Langlois past Gasparovic to round out the top 10. So 4 minutes are completed, 7 to go. Huben trying to stride away from the Latvian of Tom Strehler in the 1-2-3. Drivers coming across the start-finish line at full speed, some using the momentum, the slipstream going through into turns 1 and 2. So we're getting towards the halfway point of the race in about a minute's time. And still Radenkovic trying to get past Bourguignon and Van Rooyen up ahead. But Huben has started to pull a little bit of a lead. It's about 4 kart lengths between him and Tom Strehler from Latvia. Radenkovic, nice sweeping move up the inside through turn 10. Radenkovic has already quickly closed up on Mats van Rooyen from the Netherlands, and he sweeps to the right-hand side, going down the start-finish straight into turns 1 and 2. Five minutes and 40 still to go. And there's plenty of drivers trying to do their best as Bourguignon goes up the inside of Van Rooyen through turn 6. So 5 minutes to go. And Jake Menton and Marcos Sulkunas down at the bottom end of the grid. So still all 19 drivers are being still circulating. Paul Roussel has dropped down to 13th position as Jellerup from Denmark has managed to get past for 12th position. Mick Vandenberg past Sekavicius for 16th place. There's Matej Radenkovic. Race overalls flapping in the breeze as they head down the Europalan through into turn number 7. The wind has suddenly picked up because I've just seen some leaves bouncing up off of the grass and bounding along, going through on the outside of turn number 8 and through the inside of turn, well, outside of turn 9 through turn 8. 7 minutes have been completed and Mies Huben is starting to try and stretch a little bit of a lead, and his lead now was half a second. It's still half a second, and Matej Radenkovic has now managed to still have the fastest lap of the race. One of 2 drivers along with Romeo Roussel that has gone sub 60 in the latter stages of this race. But Mies Houben, it's his advantage. Right now, the youngster from the Netherlands was looking to get ahead and get into the lead early, and that's exactly what he's planned to do, and that's exactly what he's done. Three minutes and 8 seconds still to go. And Mies Houben is trying to pull away from Tom Strehler. However, is that going to happen? Because Matej Radenkovic is closing. Radenkovic has picked up the pace and is looking up the inside of Nikita Nikishov, and the Belgian gets through on the approach into turn 1. Neatly done through turn 2 and makes the move stick. Tom Strehler was 0.3 of a second behind Mies Houben. And now the battle for the lead well and truly on. We're getting into the bottom of the 9th. As they would say in terms of a baseball reference. And Houben just keeping himself focused on what is happening up ahead of him. He's got clean air. He's just got to concentrate on his own race. And Tom Strehler is trying to close in, but Matej Radenkovic has decided to bring along his own dance moves to the floor, and up the inside of the Latvian goes the Belgian. There's a little bit of a clash between them, but that's given Mies Houben a bit more of an advantage. The gap has now expanded once again. So 2 minutes to go. And the gap now is up to half a second. We've got 2 minutes remaining. We're on to lap number 10 of the race. And Mies Houben is going to have to keep his eyes on behind him very, very soon if Matej Radenkovic keeps up this electrifying pace. And Radenkovic in the last 3 laps alone has been hitting the 59-second bracket, a 59.8 last time around, a 59.4 the lap before. And he's also put in the fastest lap, 59.393. As Tom Strehler up the inside of Nikita Nikishov to retake 3rd position. 1 minute and 20 still to go. As Houben now coming under pressure from Radenkovic. They come out of the final corner. It's going to be close. I think we're going to go on to the penultimate lap. And Houben now has Radenkovic to his inside. The Dutchman looks to the left and sees Radenkovic, who gets through to go through to the lead of the race on lap number 11 out of 12. So I think we are on the penultimate lap of racing for Minimax. Onto the Europolan for the final time, or the penultimate time, and Radenkovic has already started pulling a gap. And Tom Strehler is still battling away with Nikita Nikishov for the final step, the final step on the top 3. But time is about to expire as Radenkovic out of turn number 11. We are going to go down to the final lap, and Radenkovic has managed to pull it out of the bag here at Karting Genk. Last lap board is out. Just over 1,100 metres for the 196 to cover. So he makes his way through into turn 5. For the last time, Mies Houben about 0.6 behind. And Houben, for the majority of this race, had been leading it. Radenkovic, this year's B&L Karting Series Minimax champion. And Mies Houben was the runner-up. And Radenkovic, out of turn 9, looks over the right shoulder, gets the head down. Into the right-hander at turn 10. 2 more corners remain as the checkered flag is being prepared as the fireworks and flames await our race winner. And out of the final corner, on home soil, Matej Radenkovic wins the Golden Trophy. Mies Houben finishes a gallant runner-up in 2nd position. 1 second adrift, and it was close between 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, across the line. There wasn't that much between them. Less than a tenth between drivers. But Matej Radenkovic, great sportsmanship, a big thumbs up and a bit of a fist bump from Mies Houben. And Mies Houben knew that he would have an opportunity to win this race, and Matej Radenkovic had gotten the job done when the people might have counted him out. And you never count that youngster out in the 196. He's now coming through into the pre-grid, into the dummy, well, into the Parc Fermé and scrutineering. Let's have a look at the results, shall we? So Matej Radenkovic wins in Minimax, ahead of Mies Houben by just over a second. Nikita Nikishov in third for Spain. Tom Strehler in fourth, ahead of Romeo Roussel. Laurence Herbos, Tom Langlois, Ryan Bourguignon, Mats van Rooyen, Matthias Jellerup, Jules Avril, Paul Grisel, Jakub Gasparovic, Jakub Cabrera, Aloysius Sekovicius, Mick Vandenberg, Jake Menton, Igor Kaczynski, Marcus Silkunas, rounding out the 19 strong after 12 laps of racing.